Some member asking about negative paintings. What I'm thinking about is positive space, negative space. First thing, we need to see the big shapes. So today I'm going to use the Artisa watercolor paper. Pretty good quality for what we're going to do for this exercise. For this demonstration, I would use lifting off because I want the background to be consistent. The tools and the colors are very important. Our two favorite brushes, one is the flat brush and one is just our calligraphy brush. I'm going to first use this brush to do most of the work. Look at the reference. In the future, we're going to have live classes. So all members getting discount to enter the live classes. I would coach you step by step. You don't have to see me finish the entire painting and then you try to catch up. I'm going to take lots of color. There's the Prussian blue and I have some red color. There's two colors together and making a very, very, very dark color. So this is what I want. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to putting the dark color on the paper. So this is all positive space because they are dark. Dark color consider positive space, light color consider negative space. So it's very relaxing. Just lay the color over there. Maybe I'm going to make it darker. Okay, I'm going to have a little bit more red. I'm going to adding more color to it. That's the dark background. In the live class, after this, and I'm going to stop, and it will be your turn. Do exactly what I'm doing. I prefer that wait until it's dry before I start lifting. If you lift now, the color would come back because the paper is still wet. Now the paper is very much dry. It's just not 100% but 90%. This is good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you the technique to return it back to the white space. I'm going to take out enough water. So okay, just a little bit, but I still keep enough water because I need the water to lift up the color. Now what I'm doing now, I'm not looking at inside the details. I'm only looking for the bigger shape. So the petal. It's very easy to take it up. So I'm looking for the bigger petal, the bigger shape first. I'm going to take out the color like this. If you put too much water, you expect the water is going expanding. So you might want to control that a little bit. So I'm going to, not too much water. I'm going to put it here like that and move it. And then the color would be lifted. And now I'm going to have a little bit less water. Now I'm going to create some shape a little bit more defined. And sometimes you might want to have some water effect. So now I'm going to, so a little bit water, try it to see how you can control it. And now I'm going to, every time after I lift up, and then I put my brush in the water. And now I dry my brush a little more, squeeze all the water. Now I'm going to start lifting up some a little bit more defined shape. You see that? Now you can make it very nice. Then coming back over here. You don't have to make it exactly look like the reference. You can be creative. And when you do the lifting, it's very crucial that you don't want to scratching the paper. You just use the hair to lift up the color. Now I'm gonna coming down over here, make sure I have enough space. Now I'm gonna put up down here, and the bottom is gonna have a little green leaf. So I'm gonna take this color up and just a roughly. It's almost like I'm using the shape for drawing. Now, lift up. Now the paper gets drier and drier, a little bit different than a few minutes ago. So you need to use more water to wet this and loosen the color before you can lift them up. Now, coming over here. Now this is good. I don't have to make this all white because that is not very light. So that's good. Now I take a look at what spaces I need. You're only looking for the light spaces. You don't need to look for the dark space. Like the green leaf over here is in the shadow. I don't have to lift that up because that actually pretty dark. All I need to do later probably just put a little yellow color to it, and that's it. Right? So in your mind, it's just light space and dark spaces. And over here, I'm going to start continue lift up the little clear shape. And then this petal, I'm going to lift a little bit more. Now at this point, the paper already dried. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add a little bit more water to it. So you can lift up the color. Okay, now I'm gonna, this is Artisa cold press watercolor paper. Yeah. No, I actually glue all side as a whole block. Yeah, I glue them, and I have a video show you how to glue them. You did. That is very handy because I don't have to do every time. I don't have to like doing the sheet by sheet. Now I'm just loosen the color, just thinking about the negative shape. Just think about you are painting the negative shape. You are lifting the color. And now I'm going to add another shape over here too. Here you go. Now I'm going to most people probably would prefer to draw out the shape and then paint around the white shape or using masking fluid to reserve the white space. That is another another way to do it. But this is really fun to do and kind of like try to beat the limit. This is what you can do. It's important that you don't want to scratch the surface of the paper. If you put it down like this and keep scratching, and the paper will become really bad. And when this become turned to hairy and bad, and you cannot do anything else for this. Okay. Now I'm going to also lift up this shape. We're not looking at the details, so important to just think about the whole white shape compare with the dark shape in the back to see how it would create a feeling for you. Okay, so you don't need to thinking any of things. I just focus on the big shape. So this is a very important thinking in whatever medium, whatever painting you do, whatever subject matter you do. You have to think about the big shape. If the big shape doesn't look attractive, when you add the detail, it won't change it. It still look boring. It still look not moving. So you have to think about the big shape. When we add the detail, it's a very easy thing to do. It just add a little small fresh colors and it would there. Okay, now, yes, you have a question? Our favorite three colors. So I only use the blue and the red. Yeah, that's only two colors. And if, yeah. Now, I don't want to be a little careful. Don't want to damage uh, the paper surface. And if you damage it, and you're done. Okay. So coming over here, I'm also going to carefully lift up some light shape even lighter. So I'm going to give a little bit more time over here to lift it up. Again, earlier I mentioned about would be a similar format. I do one step, I explain how I do it and why I do it that way, and then you can ask questions, and then you would do it while I am waiting for you to finish that first step before we start on the next step. And now you can see the negative shape in the middle of the positive space. And I'm going to let it dry. Some paper even let you lift more. You can lift up almost completely. One thing is important is the brush. You make sure you use a brush that has a lot of hair. Natural hair will be able to lift up a little bit easier. So the key is you need to have a lot of hair. Okay, so easier to lift it up. Make sure it's 100% dry because the color I'm going to put in define the details. If it is wet, and the color would going everywhere. Now I'm going to use the calligraphy brush, looking for the bigger shape. The bigger shape in the middle here, if you have the reference, you can see is a pretty fresh yellow color. I'm going to have the yellow and with a little bit red, and that's it. That's a little color. What I'm going to put it on is right here, just looking for the big shape. Pay attention, and it's very simple. Like that. And the detail, I'll add that later. Now you can see the painting is coming along. I'm going to make it a little bit warmer at the bottom over here. So I add a little color here. It's beautiful color. Now I'm going to come back to have a little bit blue color on the top. So make a little bit kind of gray right on the top over here. Here you go. Now coming down, looking for the shape. And you see the color from cool coming to a little bit warmer, like in the transition. Now I'm going to come back with this color, connect that in the middle. Now it merge together. It will look very dynamic. Okay, come back here with a little gray color. Now I'm going to create the smaller shape. So it's always think about big shape before think about smaller shape. And whatever we do, whatever subject matter, portrait, landscape, still life, still the same. There's no difference. Your mind always focus on the big shape before the big shape look nice, good enough for you. And then looking for a smaller. I'm going to have a little bit blue color over here. Like that. I'm going to have a little blue color over here. All you see, there should be just different shapes connect together. There's no such thing. You actually have the object on the paper. Those are only illusion we try to create, right? We have that shape, and now I'm going to looking for, in your mind, just try to keep searching. Where the shape? I'm going to see a little shape over here. You see that? That's a little shape. Like that. A little shape over here. And now a little shape over here, a little bit darker. I'm going to add a little bit of this. Like that. Now I'm going to just use the water to bring it over. It's okay to have something doesn't look like anything that you're painting on the paper. That is just fine. You don't have to make it look like everything so defined. Okay, something could look like, now make this a little bit darker because the object at the front, we want it to look like a little bit attention, grabbing the more attention at the front over here. So now like this, it's okay, like that. Okay, that's good. Now I'm start making a little bit purple color. So I'm going to take the red color with the different blue colors. So we're going to talk more and more about the difference between the two blue color. And look at that, this ultramarine blue and mixed with the red, it will look more as purple color. Okay, I'm going to put this color right in here. And a little color right in a little bit over here. And I'm going to have a little bit of this blue mixed into it. It have a little bit more like a purple color coming down over here. Now here you go. The edge over here too. Like that on the edge. Maybe a little bit on the edge over here. Like that. You may be thinking about it's some magic in here. There's no magic. It's all about how you interpret what you see and divide it into a deliverable visual elements with just shapes, different colors, different textures. Now I'm going to add a little bit green color over here, create a little bit shadow at the bottom over here, like that. And I'm going to make it a little bit lighter, so I'm going to put it, this is the shadow side, and just add a little bit fresh color in here, like that. Look before you make decision and paint. That's good. On the other side, we're almost there. On the other side, we have some catch the shadow, because this those shapes, it actually block out the light, so we can only see some of the area. So this is getting there. What I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna have some light brown color. You can change the color if you want. And now I'm gonna make this color. Oops, this is still wet, so we're gonna come back to finish the sharp detail later. I can have a little color over here for now, like that. Now, next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just get the yellow color and just put it right over here. The suggestions of the side of that. And the same thing over here. I'm gonna have a little yellow color with this blue color, and I'm gonna put it right in here. You see that? So you don't really need to lift up any color from this area, because you actually put it dark. It's okay. Give it a little bit spontaneous. Now the flower get more and more real.